Você, você, você. Você, você, você.
Risk, risk, risk. Let's talk about risk. Many times we are asked, what is your risk profile? Are you risk averse? If you are young, you are more likely to be considered as having a higher risk tolerance. And in the same vein, being older suggests a lower tolerance for risk. And what if I told you that while that thinking seems valid for financial and investment purposes, it doesn't really hold up in the overall journey of life? And I recently realized that risk is much like change for all of us. Every new day delivers change to us. The body you went to sleep with is not the body you wake up with. The teeth have plaque. New hair has grown. Your skin has shed, etc., etc., etc. And to some degree, a similar thing occurs with risk. Each night you go to bed, you are at risk of never waking up. Stepping out your door has the risk of something occurring in your life. Sometimes that something is good. Other times it's bad, and it can even be catastrophic. The mere fact that we don't know means we hold risk every minute of every day. So we're always tolerant and accepting of risk. We just aren't thinking about it. We aren't focused on it. We aren't aware of that. Much like the change that happened, we just accept it. And in that same way, we just accept risk. But risk surrounds us every day. Every day we walk with a certain level of ignorance as to some outcomes. And yes, we always say safety first. That's you consciously putting things in place to be safe, such as refusing to drink when you know you're going to be driving. That is consciously putting things in place to up your safety. But then there's that percentage where you don't know. We sometimes call that in the wrong place at the wrong time. Risk is there. It is there whether we want to acknowledge it or not. And the mere fact that we don't know, as I said, means we hold risk all the time. We run around never really worrying about such things. We deal with risk through gratitude, or at least I do. I am grateful for every eye-opening moment. I am grateful for the ability to use my legs and walk around, recognizing that some people can't necessarily do that. So gratitude helps us deal with risk. And the question about the risk conversation is, what are you holding back? If risk is always around you, if you're always facing risk, whether in ignorance or not, why hold back? Why give a damn? Why not just step out boldly about what you want, about your dreams, about your purpose, about your intents and the things you want that people tell you you can't have? That's a farce. So really, what is risk tolerance? What is your tolerance for risk? Because just in the title of this podcast, it's a crock of crap. We already tolerate risk. We already live with risk. No different to change. So let's get real, as I always say. Let's get real. If you have a purpose, if you are unfulfilled, if you're unhappy, if you're not living the life you really want to live, what risk is there in taking action? What risk is there in stepping forward? What risk is there in believing in you? What risk is there in taking a chance? Because you're already taking a risk, whether you know it or not. So why not take a chance on you? What's the risk in that? Especially if you have an amazing talent, like those that won't pursue their talents because they don't think they can make a living, or somebody told them they couldn't make a living from it. What difference does it make? You take a chance. We watch reality shows with people taking chances all the time. And some of them, oh my God, where would Kelly Clarkson be if she didn't take a chance? Where would Oprah be if she didn't take a chance? Life is about opportunities and taking a chance, and you can put any name you want on it. It's risk. So when people say, are you risk averse? I suppose the language is appropriate for financial investments and things of that nature. But when it comes to your life, when it comes to living it fully, when it comes to leaving a legacy, when it comes to ensuring you are remembered, when it comes to these things, what is the risk in taking a chance on you, in choosing you? What is the risk? It's this abstract thing we walk around. Well, guess what? I'm saying step out. Take a chance on you. There's no risk in that. Embracing you, putting you first, there's no risk in that. Because the other side is you wasting your life. The other side is you not living fully. The other side is you not feeling fulfilled. That's a greater risk than actually stepping up and saying, this is what I want to do, and I believe I can do it, and just do, keep doing. Keep taking action. Keep pursuing your dreams. Keep pursuing your purpose. Keep doing what you need to do to make your dream a reality. You don't know the outcomes, but you don't know the outcomes when you walk out your front door. What difference does it make? Let's get real and put our perspectives where it needs to be so that newer perspective can change your life. These you discussions that I have on this show, Arrays of Living, on this podcast, is all about that. It's about making you realize that the things you dwell on are all abstract illusions. Because every day I get up, I am taking a risk. And every day I wake up, I am thankful for another day to continue to take those risks. Because I don't want to waste a moment, not another moment of my life. I have already wasted enough. So when I put my hand out and I invite you to join my program, when I put out my hand and I give it an invitation and said, come in and let me help you. Sure, you can look at it as a risk, but it's an opportunity. And if we keep looking at opportunities as risk, how do we move forward? Because you can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. So how do you move forward if you're not taking the opportunities that are presented to you? This is a passionate one. We cannot get where we need to go. We cannot pursue our service. We cannot overflow our cup and pass that overflow to others unless we take a risk. Because I don't want you to waste another moment of your life. I want you to believe in yourself and believe in me that I can change your perspective to change your life. So when we talk about risk, what exactly are we really speaking about? What exactly is it that we need that you won't do, that you're not willing to do because you are held back by fear? You're self-sabotaging your own path. So let's put a real look on risk. I talk about the situation where I'm held back for 5-10 minutes. I'm not happy about being held back for 5-10 minutes because I've got a schedule and I need to go out and I needed to be on the road by this certain time. And then I go out, I get held back 5-10 minutes. I then get on the road. I'm not happy that I'm late or, heading to be late. And I get on and there's a major accident in front of me. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, if I had left the time I had planned, the likelihood that I would be part of that accident is very high. And then I get into gratitude. I am grateful for that 5-10 minutes delay. My perspective immediately changes. And we live these types of situations all the time. We hear about them, if not in our own lives, from others. So every time we get up and every time we go out into the world and every time we take a chance, we are facing unknowns that we don't know how things will turn out. We don't know if we will come back and arrive back at our homes, but still we do it every day. We get up and we go out. That's risk. I have lived through working with a colleague, going out to lunch with that colleague, celebrating, laughing, and all of a sudden that colleague passes out on the table for us to learn he died. I think of Bill from that day forward, every now and then he comes into my mind. He died at a restaurant table amidst celebration and laughter and joy. And it was shocking. He didn't know that was going to happen to him. Neither of us knew that was going to happen to him. And all of a sudden, the appreciation for life doubled, the appreciation for every moment, the shock of it. If you haven't ever gone through that, trust me, the shock of it is touching the bone. It just goes through and it's just riveting on you. It is shocking. And you get into a space where you appreciate every moment of your life. When you've gone through that, you literally appreciate every moment of your life. And I want to leave my legacy. I want people to understand what I stood for, what I believed in, what I was passionate about. And I want to serve to help people to get to such a point of contentment in their life, to learn from their past and get beyond it, to understand that all those things were gratitude and not worry about risk, because it just is. No different to fear, no different to change. Risk just is. So you can either cower in fear at this bodacious thought and dream that you have, or you can stand up and recognize, you know what? I got nothing to lose. Never doing what I really wanted to do. Being unfulfilled, unsatisfied in a job you don't really want, doesn't really suit you because you are worth more and you are bound for greater things. You just have to step up and take a chance on you. So when we have this risk discussion, it's all about choosing you, taking a chance on you, and just taking action towards what you see for yourself. And it's okay if it's big. It's delightful the bigger it is. Get big, go bodacious. Seize your power within. Look at your God spark and say, I can do this. And you go for it. And yes, you may have setbacks. And yes, you may face rejections. And yes, you may hear a lot of no's depending on what it is you want to do. And yes, the first time you do something, you might not get it right. But with each refinement, with each step forward, you are progressing, you are advancing, you are getting more passionate about what you're building. And that is a more satisfying life than just taking the scraps and choosing mediocrity. Choose more. And that's what risk is all about. And it doesn't matter because you face it every day, whether you realize it, acknowledge it or not, risk is in front of you. Because every day we live in ignorance about what could happen and what is destined for us and what our outcomes could be when we get up. And we live each day. And so we become thankful for every day we live. And we want to impact and maximize every day with action and intent, going after the dream we have for ourselves. So what's your tolerance for risk? It already is. That's the answer. It already is. So what's going to be your next step? What's going to be your next step? Think about it. Think about it. If you need guidance in any of this, reach out. I am here. JennDrakes.com. Reach out. I am here. And you have been listening to another episode of Unveils of Living.
Welcome back, everyone, to Unveils of Living. You just listened to episode 4, season 4, Your Tolerance for Risk. Make sure to follow Jenn Drakes on all social media platforms so you don't miss out on the next episode. Also, join our Catalytic Club Discord to get exclusive news about Jenn Drakes. Thank you for listening.